Welcome back, everybody. We are here at the Rob's MetalWorks Studio for round 2 this weekend in February 2023 as we continue our endeavors to support some of the best regional music in our state. And it brings me great pleasure to welcome a band that I've been really high on for the past several months. I've been jamming their record, and they're back here on Rob's MetalWorks 5 years later. Brings me great pleasure to welcome the band now known as CROSSWAYS.3000. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, bro.
Great to have you guys here and lots to talk about. As I just mentioned, it's kind of cool, too, that you were here in this room almost exactly 5 years ago, February 2018. Mm-hmm. And, we were talking off camera, like, so many things can change in that amount of time, and things have obviously progressed for CROSSWAYS. So a lot of great stuff. So let's first talk about, because when I first knew you guys were just CROSSWAYS. Now you're CROSSWAYS.3000. Mm-hmm. When did that name change happen, and why did it happen?
Well, I could say that we first started off, we had like a hiatus break after when we were teenagers. I would say in 2018, 2019. And then we probably took like a 2-year break. We were just, finding ourselves out and living life. And then we decided to bring it back and just remap it and, be more creative and not be a Christian band anymore. We wanted to be a little bit more free and talk about other subjects. Mm-hmm.
So you thought, the new name, new focus, new message, everything. So new name?
Yeah, pretty much. I could pass it on to Jaime real quick.
What about? Well, I'm curious about that. I mean, you could have changed the name in many different ways, but why the 3000? Like,
we didn't want to let go of CROSSWAYS.
Yeah.
But we also didn't like the name, like, at all. Having 3000 is something that helps our search engine.
Oh yeah, okay, there you go.
So I didn't want people looking up CROSSWAYS and seeing churches and random stuff that has nothing to do with us. So having 3000 is something to brand us. We already wrote a song, NT 3000.
Yep.
And we wanted to use that and implement it into the band name.
Yeah, I can understand that, especially with how important social media is these days for everybody, right? It's kind of like a huge responsibility, and sometimes it's like a burden too. You gotta be out there in people's faces all the time, posting and shooting pictures and stuff like that. It can get overwhelming at times, but I get it now. So CROSSWAYS.3000, and two, like, people knew CROSSWAYS already, so you kind of just didn't want to let go of all that work that you put into.
And I feel like we're not really ashamed of what we were when we were younger. We kind of are embracing that as well with keeping the name and just adding on, because it's the next evolution for us. Yeah.
So let's talk about that. Evolution with the name, definitely evolution with the sound. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about that, and Daniel kind of mentioned a change in refocusing musically. So when you guys decided to come back together, what was kind of the vision for the new music? What did you want to do?
A lot of things. I mean, we each have our own desires for the band, and we try to compromise as best as we can for the vision.
Sure.
Overall, because
Yeah, I think we mostly liked a lot of like Fear Factory, new metal, industrial style, because we used to be a melodic hardcore band.
Right.
We really grew up in that like pop punk era and that hardcore era, very like underground when we were starting off. So now it's like we wanted to spread our wings a little bit and express ourselves lyrically, musically, and now it's like I feel like it shapes us more than what we were back then, and it's our aesthetic was mostly like streetwear. Like we weren't really trying to do the cyber stuff yet. It was mostly like the industrial, like Static X type, like new metal type style, that I really enjoy, like 90s is like vintage type stuff. So we really like stuck with that, and I think that's what like resembles us the most.
I keep hearing a lot about like the return of new metal. You know, people are talking about like new metal's coming back, and I always liked a lot of the new metal stuff, you know, back then. So that's kind of cool, man. And two, like one of the things I quickly noticed was that you guys had kind of gone beyond just the straight guitar, drum, vocal in the mix of what you guys are doing. And I think for like your first output doing that style, you guys did it really well. Like all that sonic stuff, the sampling stuff, that extra layer of noise in between everything. And I've seen some live footage too. I know you guys, you know, sample that stuff on live. Yeah. Sounds great, man. It sounds good. Who does all that stuff?
It's mostly like Jaime and this dude, our sound guy, because running our backtracks used to be always like a hectic like failure, like it really, like every time it never failed. We'll play it like here and there. We learn from our mistakes. But we play our shows and like the backtracks don't work. I was like, all right, screw it, let's run it without it, you know. But I think the backtracks kind of like, it's not really much backtracks. He does most of the electronics on guitar.
Oh, okay.
But it really like adds dimension, you know.
Sure.
So what we're trying to like pull off or be.
And I think I'm seeing more and more bands do that, and that's okay, you know. I see a lot more of the, you know, the new bands, younger bands, modern bands pulling that stuff off, and it seems like everybody's getting a little better at it. Let's kind of take this opportunity too, because Daniel and Jaime, you guys are like at the heart of this band, but share about who these other people are too, because we all know that our crews and families are important. So just kind of introduce yourself and what you do with CROSSWAYS.3000.
Well, my name's Chris Gonzalez. I'm the drummer of CROSSWAYS. Also the original member, too.
Oh, wow, yeah.
I am the original. One of the first.
We can get into that, but original drummer.
Original drummer.
So you were with CROSSWAYS and then you left, and now you're back.
I had left and then came
now
back.
You're back. All right. All right, good.
I'm Daniel Belmonte. I'm like the fill-in bass for CROSSWAYS and the sound tech, and managing their backing track rigs when, you know, shit hits the fan.
Cool, man. Yeah. Cool.
I'm the booking agent, pretty much.
All right.
So.
And what's your name? Oh, you don't want to say your name?
It's unknown.
All right. Oh, all right.
My name's Jerry.
Secret J. All right, man. No, that's cool. And thank all of you guys for coming out today. You know, I'm glad we were able to kind of coordinate, because I know how crazy and busy our hectic lives are. Just for the fans, you guys already answered this question for me, but just for the people out there, in your fans and people all around the world who will watch this interview, when I interviewed you in 2018, we were supporting a record called "I Will Sleep in Peace Until You Come." Is that it?
It's You Come to Me.
Till you come for me.
Come to me. Yeah.
Right. What is the title again? I will sleep in peace until
you come for me.
Until you come for me. Yeah. And so that record came out at the end of 2017, I believe. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And so this new record, you'll be received, is the record officially kind of after that one. There's nothing in between there except kind of some singles, you said.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How many singles did you release? And when did you release them?
We released a demo at first, and that was supposed to be like a pre-pro or like just an unmastered track of what we were trying to set off or we'll create. Yeah. So like that track was called "Cut Deep Into Your Skin" or "Into My Skin," and now it's "Deep Into the Skin" on the record. And it's like completely like revision, completely. It's the same track, but it's a bit better, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then from that we did NT3000, and at that point, that's when we really like.
No, we did Optimo.
Optimo. Oh,
Optimo.
You're right, my bad. Yeah. We did Optimo, and that's when we worked on our first like DIY like stop motion video. A lot of people say it kind of resembled like a Tool, I guess.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah. It's killer.
Yeah.
At first, really I thought it was just gonna be that, and then I saw some video of you guys in it.
We went through so much trying to like map out or like pinpoint of what we wanted to do as a music video, but on a budget. So like we did everything ourselves. Like, you know what? If we were inspired by like Robot Chicken and stuff like that. I'm like, if they just do like stop motion, we can do it too. So we use his rig, his bass rig, empty it out, put LED lights in there, and we have a little toy and a little Optimo figure robot.
Oh, wow.
And we moved it little by little and just made our music video.
Wow.
Yeah. So
and then just edited it.
Yeah. It's pretty nice. And then that song has a lot of meaning too. So after that song popped out, yeah, and then we did NT. But after that Optimo blew up, we started like, okay, let's have another track and let's make a record and
yeah, we're gonna talk about that because, you know, I'll get into that. But yeah, I was really kind of surprised that You'll Be Received had 9 songs on it. Yeah. Which is a lot. You know, you don't see a lot of bands doing that anymore. But we'll talk about that. So again, like it's been like 5-6 years since that first record came out. And obviously, you know, you guys are doing something new. So how do you kind of feel personally that you kind of evolved as musicians? Because, you know, obviously we're a little older and, you know, people get better, you know, what they do, they probably maybe get more focused. But what do you kind of feel as when you think back at that time and the musician you were at that time to kind of where you are now? What's changed or evolved?
I feel very proud of the progress that we've been making as musicians. We really push ourselves at rehearsals to really make it sound like the record when we play live. We don't want to half-ass a lot of stuff. So, right. We've been pushing ourselves all the fucking time. So when we hit a limit, we try our best to fucking break it again. And it can be exhausting, but the payoff is really good because once you reach a threshold, that's your new standard in a way. And when you break it, you have a new standard to meet. And I think evolution for us is something that we take very seriously. And being better musicians is really important to us as well. And getting tighter and critiquing our work, you know? We want to essentially just be the best that we could be as humans because we're not robots, but we could push as hard as we fucking can, you know?
Right. And what about you? What brought you back into the band? Why did you decide?
Well, life got in the way pretty much. I didn't have the time anymore to be in the band. But then, you know, I think it was 2020, I believe.
21.
It was 21. They had asked me to be in the band again. Honestly, it's like, you know, I had really missed it. And at first I was like, okay, you know, let me try a couple shows and see. But after the first show we had, I was like, I freaking missed this. I was like, I'm considering. It was really.
Did your fans remember you?
I don't
After
know.
being gone for so long?
I think when Chris was gone, we had a lot of old friends who'd be like, "Wow, he's back in the band." So, and it excited us. But even when he wasn't in the band, he was the back, like honestly, like the bones of the band. Like he was carrying us as a drummer. I've never seen a better drummer than Chris. Like, well, I mean, there's a lot of good drummers here, but when he plays, it's pure passion. Like, I feel it, and I think that's what inspires all of us to continue playing because it's an energy that we build when we're playing. You know, like it's connection, and I love that because when Chris wasn't in the band, it was tough trying to get different members that weren't like free or like artistically when it comes to drumming. You know, so exactly.
Yeah, and that's so important, man. Like the vibe and the chemistry, right?
Yeah,
you can't fake that shit.
Yeah,
you can't fake it. So yeah, I get you, man. All right, so really, we're here to talk about and support your brand new record. For all you people out there, go ahead and take a look at the cover work. It is called "You Will Be Received." It dropped at the beginning of January.
Yes.
Of this
First
year.
Friday.
Yeah, January 6th, I believe, is the date. So, great record. I love the cover art, too. And like I said, I had to go buy my copy online because I never got it from the band.
I just want to say shout out to Manny from Morning Sun.
Yeah.
He helped us a lot.
Great.
He helped us with this design.
Yeah, Emmanuel.
Yes.
Yeah, he's a great cat.
Awesome guy to work with for anyone looking for an artist.
Yeah. I've been jamming their record too. So good guy. And
also just wanted to say, my bad.
Yeah, go ahead.
But Morning Sun's really good, and rest in peace to Josh Ruff. He was a good friend
of
the band, and their latest record is really good, man. Those are really good friends of ours. I love this design so much, and I give them props for it because it's like my favorite design right now.
I like it. So You Will Be Received came out. Let's first talk about what I just mentioned, like the fact that it has like 9 tracks on it. So that's a lot of music. And nowadays you kind of hear bands saying, "Oh, we're gonna release a single this month, and we'll release another one in 6 weeks or whatever," and kind of go that route. Why did you guys decide to kind of do kind of almost like a full-length record?
Well, there was going to be more tracks that got cut. We do plan on releasing those as a short EP for the B-sides.
Yeah.
But we were really enjoying the process of making an album, and we wanted to recreate that feeling I used to get when hearing an album front to back and enjoying the whole cohesive piece of work.
Right.
And there was an era on YouTube where people would post full albums, and I found a lot of bands that way, and I wouldn't just judge it by one song. I was judging the whole body of work. And it was cool. Like, I think there's a niche audience for albums, but there's a niche, well, it's more popular to just drop singles, obviously.
Right.
I want each song to be a single, but I also wanted it to be cohesive throughout the whole thing. So if you're going to drop in on one song, that's going to be just fine because, you know, they're written as singles, but that all connect together.
Sure. Yeah. I know. I get it, man. I mean, I'm old school, and I'm one of those guys that likes albums. I don't see enough of that anymore, except from like the old school bands. But yeah, man, it was great. And you know, when I read the title, "You Will Be Received," you know, I was thinking about that a lot and thinking about like seeing kind of how the songs kind of lent themselves to kind of the title of the album, because usually the title of the album kind of should be a reflection of, you know, this body of work. Right. So killer. What do you tell people when they say what genre of music do you play?
I would say we're industrial or like heavy new metal.
All right.
I'm sorry. Well, like new metal era.
Yeah,
sure.
new metal. Yeah.
I consider us a new metal band.
But God, the way that Daniel sings is just so fucking heavy, though. It's like super heavy.
Yeah, no, man, it's been just I don't know. I just let all my anger out there. It's been a minute since I've tried to like put my foot down and really try to have a tone of me screaming, because back then when we were a melodic hardcore band, I would just yell on stage, and now I like try to add more of like the deathcore influence vocals, and like practice a lot with tone. So it's great, man. I love the vocals. His singing too, like it's just a great match. Like I love our tracks.
And you know, I've seen some live video on YouTube, and I love the way you guys throw down, and you know, Daniel, for a big dude, man, you fucking are throwing down. You're working out there. You're like, fuck.
Some of the filthiest vocalists are like big, like there's out there like Filth, like Taylor Barber, like there's a lot of big 6-foot dudes that, you know, have that tone in them, you know. And majority of the time they do like false chords. Usually if I see a skinny dude, it's always like fry screams and stuff like that.
But what I meant is too, like you're moving around a lot.
Yeah, it's
jumping
tough.
around and
they
shit.
Know. Like they know we're out there. We're trying to keep our
get
composure
tired
and feel the energy. It's more of an energy. Like I feel like if I feel the crowd like boosting me up and they're enjoying the music, I feel connected with them, and that boosts me, gives me adrenaline to keep playing. And that's what I love about shows, because I feel my passion when I'm playing out there. And when especially when we played our release show, like everybody was singing our lyrics, and we haven't had that in ever, so it was like I'm kind of like we're flabbergasted a little bit. Yeah,
that's cool, man. I know you guys got your fans, and I've seen them, you know, kind of really getting into the shows. And first and foremost, too, one of the reasons I love this record is it just sounds great on my stereo, on my computer, on my headphones. It sounds fucking great. Awesome. So where did you guys record it, and who recorded it and stuff like that?
Again, just like the last record, we're doing everything DIY. That's all from Jaime. Jaime mixes all our tracks, recorded all our tracks at his house, home studio. But I do have to give props to our boy from sedulous. He's his name's Elazar. He has a studio here called Lights Out Studio, and he's really good. He mastered all our
he
our whole
mastered.
EP, and it's great. I think he mastered our last EP as well. Did he?
No, Clifton.
Ah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, and do you like doing it yourself? I mean, do you kind
It's
of
a
feel you have
learning
more
experience.
control?
Definitely takes a lot longer.
Yeah.
But I think we're poor as fuck. I mean, we don't really got a lot of money. I mean, I'm just keeping it honest. I mean, we're not really
I know
that
some of these guys
wealthy.
charge expensive, yeah.
And we can't really afford to go to a studio, which would be cool. I mean, we've kind of done it a little bit, but not really like all the songs that we did track at a studio. I'm not going to drop any names. We didn't really like how it turned out.
Right.
So we never. That's when I fucking knew, like, if I want something done the way I want it, like, I have to push myself to get the results that I want, because I can't necessarily be relying on other people to create my music, or not to sound like cocky or in any way, but that's kind of like the goal that I have for the band, is to be self-sufficient, that we could do everything in our own way, in our own time, and really just create and have a space to create as well. And it's important for us to always be in the studio, because it's already at my house.
Right.
And we can always be creating whenever we want to.
Right.
We don't have to rely, hey, man, are you free? Can we book?
Time,
And then pays, like, don't even get started on the money, man. That shit's
9
expensive.
songs, that's like $4,500 right there.
Yeah.
All right? $500 a song or something like that?
I did invest in my studio.
Sure.
I was working and I bought the stuff that was necessary to make an album. And I think continuing that is the path that we're going to keep taking.
Right. Well, it worked out good, dude. You got a great product. I mean, I was wondering, like, man, who produced this, or where did they go? And I didn't know if you guys had been with Cliff or whatever, but sounds great. Sounds fucking great for doing it yourself, man. How long did it take you guys to put this record together, like the recording and everything?
2 years?
Well, we spent a year building the band. So I remember the time we would just kind of talk about what the band was going to be. And then, a year passed, and then we were like, okay, so what are we going to do? We started writing. We wrote a shit ton of songs, and a shit ton were deleted and are just in obscurity right now. And we built enough songs that we kept essentially developing, and we were developing a sound in a way.
Sure.
In that whole time period, I remember there was a lot of discussions on what the band was going to be overall, like everything, the visuals, the sound, the soundscapes, the riffs, even like the drum beats that we were going to be using are all like essential to what we wanted to do, and incorporating, drum and bass, incorporating, electronics and heavy industrial sounds with, nu metal, of course. It just blends, like nu metal really just blends with everything.
Right.
In a cool way. So it took us about 2 years of recording and tracking, because when you're doing shit DIY, you wonder why it doesn't sound, a certain way. Daniel would be like, I was listening to this band and their mix is a lot better than your mix. And although it sucks to hear that, I mean, it is true. We can't be delusional on the product.
For sure.
We have to be brutally honest with each other.
And not too proud to say, yeah.
And that's what kept pushing everyone to listen to what we were making, and not just indulging in what we create.
Yeah.
Actually listen and understand that there are going to be flaws, and how do we approach fixing those flaws. And it took us about 2 years to finish everything.
That's a good amount of time. And I'm bands get so excited about what they're working on. They want everybody to hear it. Sometimes you might make a mistake in rushing shit and putting out something that's subpar, to what you really, really wanted to put out. But I'm glad you guys took your time. I could really tell that there was a lot of work that went into this record, because it sounds fucking pretty seamless, dude. Everything that you just talked about, the industrial, the guitars, the vocals, everything just kind of seamless, man. It sounds great. Let's talk about lyrical themes. When I read the title, "You Will Be Received," I was like, oh man, that's pretty fucking deep. So share a little bit about some of the lyrical themes of this record.
I think the album overall is about the life that I was kind of living through and expressing that outwardly. I mean, I think everything that we do write is a collection of our life journey.
Sure.
And when I think about the record, you know, you're passing through life and then death, and it's a cycle, you know.
Right.
And we delve into spirituality and spiritual themes, and using that to kind of express how it feels to be a human, how it feels to be alive and have sentience and consciousness, and kind of diving into that as deep as we can. The
good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yeah.
You know, you mentioned Josh Ruff a little while ago, and I remember I never knew the cat, but you know, when I hear about people, young people, or just anybody, you know, succumbing to the pressures of life, you know, for whatever reason, you know, money problems or family problems or, you know, substance abuse or whatever, man, that, you know, some people suffer through, and they just give up, you know. And how many people have we seen, you know, just not want to do life anymore? It's kind of, it's scary, and it's kind of sad too, because, like, for example, remember Trevor from Black Dahlia Murder too? Remember?
Yeah.
When he died, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you never would have thought. Like, so many people suffer, and you don't even know that they're suffering because they don't tell you, or, you know, they don't show it. They just try to pretend like everything's good. But, you know, we all have to come to the point where, you know, we can heal, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think it's important to us to have lyrical themes that are honest. I don't want to be held back because I'm afraid of how I'm going to be viewed, or afraid of how it's going to be perceived or interpreted by another person.
Sure.
You know? And of course, although we are kind of strict on like the things that we will talk about, it's always going to be honest as fuck, and it's going to be brutally honest.
100%.
Yeah. And what? How old are you guys? Like in your early 30s, maybe late 20s?
I just turned 25.
Oh, really?
This record.
God damn! Wait till you get into your 30s. It's all good, and then in your 40s is when you have to be strong, bro.
Well, one thing I can mention, I think what this album resembles, or this record resembles, at least to me, the answer is within yourself. The answer to figure life out, figure yourself out, is it's figuring you out first. If you're okay and you finally find yourself and heal, then you can overcome anything. You can surpass anything.
For sure.
And honestly, I feel like I relate a lot to the lyrics that Jaime wrote, and spiritually in my faith, I could relate to it really like a lot. It resembles a lot of what I'm going through too. So it's kind of surreal for me. Playing these lyrics, screaming them out there, and then having an understanding of my own, and like, okay, I relate to this song in a deeper level than just a new metal track, like, you know. And I think that's why this band means so much to us too, because like we're all working on each other, we're all growing, we're all doing this for each other and for ourselves, and ultimately we're just trying to like be free, just play this music out there.
You have each other as a support system too.
Exactly. We have a solid team, man. We're always growing.
Yeah, and then too, think about all the people, all your fans out there who are at your shows, and they can also kind of relate, and you make that connection with them, because I mean, we're all human beings. You know, we all sometimes have those feelings, you know, that we need help or that we're suffering, and that's why people connect with bands and music, you know, because
that's why we love it too, man. All our friends that we meet, I mean, like, man, like, you guys are amazing. You guys are really like good people, and I was like, that's all what it's all about. We don't like competition or to talk about one another. It's all love, man. Like,
all love.
That's the only way we could, you know, overcome a lot of bullshit.
For sure. And there's a lot out there now, you know, with social media and stuff.
Yeah, especially with the way the world is right now. Like, yeah, all we have is each other. That's all we need.
Right. You guys had a couple of guests on the couple tracks?
This man.
All right. Jeremiah Garza, your name's been here the whole time.
You've been caught.
Yeah. We know who you are now.
Yeah, that's me.
So you're doing like some vocals?
Yeah, I'm featured at the end around like the 1:30 mark with Daniel on Your Eyes. Yeah.
Nice. All right. That's cool, man. You know, it's cool to bring in your family into a track. Did you go up on stage
I did.
Yeah, right. I saw you. Oh, okay.
It's a ritual, you know.
That's cool, man.
I like helping these guys.
He's our merch guy and sound guy, so sometimes he goes up there and he's just like,
Yeah.
my bad. He's our merch guy as well. He helps us out a lot, and sometimes he just leaves a table there, doesn't care, and goes up there, steals the mic.
Worst merch guy in the fucking world.
Yo, where's all the merch? I don't know. I was on stage.
But if a fan does good, I'll give him a free shirt. You know?
Nice.
No, okay.
Nice. So as we talk about shows, you guys kind of alluded to the release show at the Pink Zeppelin record shop, right? I had heard about it, and I wanted to go. I can't remember why I didn't go. But I thought that was kind of cool that you guys were doing it kind of not at the run-of-the-mill kind of places that we know in San Antonio, but doing it at kind of, at a record shop. That was kind of cool. How did that show go? I mean, what was the vibe there? Because I saw too, because it's a record shop. They didn't really have like a whole lot of lighting, right? Just the lights of the facility. There was no like.
We really like DIY shows because I feel like you get a more of like connection with the crowd than a show where it has a barricade or because
you can't stand barricades at all.
Yeah.
Did they have a stage there, like a little stage? Or
They
not?
had like a little stage, but not really. I really felt like I love that connection of having people right in my face because they can feel the music,
Sure,
and they could really like they're not just in the background with like seeing a light show, So it was really nice, and we saw or actually he played there first when we first bumped into the venue. He played with a band called Sedulous. He was filling in for the band, and then I was like, oh okay.
So they've been doing shows there for a little bit.
At Pink Zeppelin, yes.
I've never heard of it.
And I was filling in bass for my buddy Elazar.
Okay. Nice. So were y'all selling hard copies or no?
No hard copies.
No hard copies.
It might be in the plans. It's always our budget. To be honest, what holds us back is money. I mean, money sucks, but it's necessary to keep on going. But we want hard copies for sure.
Old schoolers, like me, we like hard copies. But at the same time, I download a lot of stuff. I buy it online and I get it on my computer. I saw too that the record has been doing pretty good in a month, like over 5,000 streams. That's pretty damn good.
Word was spreading. It was fucking awesome seeing that. I mean, we did not expect people to care at all.
Really?
I mean, we'll keep doing our thing, but regardless of the feedback that we get, I think seeing how everyone was hyping it up it meant a lot to us for sure, and we didn't take that shit lightly at all. I mean, we're very grateful for every person that takes the time.
Well, I mean, I was a fan of I Will Sleep. I liked that record. Even though it was a different time for the band, I really liked that record. So I remember that's why when I started hearing about You Will Be Received, I was like, I gotta check it out. I remember how cool they were. So, and I also wanted to see, over the amount of time that had transpired, like how you guys had developed. And so I remember when I got the record and was jamming to it, I was like, holy smokes, man. That was so cool, like to see you guys progress so much with what you're delivering recorded on a recording, because the recording is forever.
Yeah.
Recording's forever, bro. And so when your next record comes out, people are gonna remember how great You Will Be Received is.
That's why I love music, man. Like music is forever. That's like even though when we're long gone, like people can still listen to.
Oh
that. Yeah. Like it's amazing. Like you're able to connect with people anywhere with music through a lifetime. Yeah.
Or longer than a lifetime, because your music will live on. You guys are part of the long history of San Antonio heaviness, man. So you guys are officially and forever a part of that. So you guys played the release show, and I know that you guys also kind of play regionally, right? You guys go out.
We were going everywhere. I mean, anywhere that we could book, we'll fucking play.
Galveston?
Yeah, we did a run with Imbalance. Shout out to Imbalance, Eric, Alex, everyone in Imbalance. Shout out.
Houston too.
We went. Yeah, we hit up Corpus, Houston. Oh no, shit. That show ended up getting canceled, so we moved it to Galveston. And Oh, when we did San Marcos as well. We've been hitting Laredo.
We've been hitting Laredo, like all over Texas, mostly small cities, big like little small venues, like anywhere that anybody has a show and that wants us. We would love just to play, man. Like, yeah, it's it was crazy because like we didn't even expect like that many people going to our release show, and I love how small like that record shop is, and it's like shows like that is where I want anywhere like we want to play. It happens. I want to be involved, you know, like so.
I've seen some shows where you didn't even have a bass player.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That was before he came along or what?
Well,
Interesting story. So
Go for it.
So originally I played drums primarily. Like I've been playing drums for 22 years, and whenever Jaime was working to replace me, because I was about to go to another job, he was like needing like I need a bass rig or like stuff to get the bass going.
Right. So
I was like, hey, I don't mind helping out. See how a couple of shows go. And my gosh, it was awesome, but the rig was clunky as heck.
Our invisible bass, the invisible bass player was pretty awesome. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I like playing with a human.
Yeah.
It's different. Yeah.
The bass or no?
We reamped it through an amp, like so it was like a physical amp, and it sounded cool, but like it does get a little like too perfect in a way.
Yeah.
It was badass. I mean, having the laptop do everything was kind of cool, but it was kind of like time to at least have a human play with us.
Sure.
So now we've been playing shows with him.
Yeah.
As he's filling in. He has his own project, but he likes helping the band out.
I mean, you do a great job, bro. It looks good.
It's definitely just part of the team. He helps out a lot.
Yeah,
when we first started, like as a 3-piece, we liked playing and we had experience playing before, but we never had like that energy matching like in front of you. I guess when he ended up playing, it gave that extra like for like dynamic, and it's good. We're like comfortable now, and we're growing. We're getting better as we play.
With the performance.
There's always room for improvement.
Sure. I mentioned the Josh Ruff here a little while ago, and you guys played his show, right?
Yeah.
How did that go? Because I heard a lot about it, and I saw that there was a lot of great bands.
It was great.
It was cool. That was at the Paper Tiger?
Rockbox.
Rockbox.
Yes. It was really, really fucking badass. Life Cycles
like,
played the Hayden tribute, which was fucking amazing. Imbalanced did fucking amazing. Yeah. Kill Lonely was a band I saw for the first time, and they were really sick.
Did Scum play?
No.
Scum didn't play?
No. The show was badass.
Yeah.
We're very grateful to be part of that show.
Yeah. Did y'all know that dude?
Josh, yes. I actually I saw him at Emmanuel's wedding a couple weeks before everything happened, and I was kicking it with him that whole night, and it was crazy when the news hit.
Julian Cruz from JC Productions was the one that was filling me in, because I had seen all the news, all the posts, and then I messaged JC and I said, "Who's this cat?" I said, "I didn't really know him," and then he kind of gave me the lowdown. That and he was like, "Oh, check out this video." He was a really talented dude. But yeah, man, I'm glad you guys got to participate in that. Was the mood kind of solemn at that show, or was it happy, or
a little bit of both for sure? You could read the room. Yeah, you could read the room. A lot of family there, but I think every band was just trying to just celebrate a life, and I think that's what's really important when someone does pass away. It's just you got to celebrate that person's life.
Yeah, the life.
Exactly. And although there is mourning, there's grief. It's real. It's also a celebration because you know how much they impacted you.
Yeah. Well, I know he impacted a lot of people. So everybody that I've ever talked to about him, they just say great things about him. So yeah, man. All right. I always kind of don't want to ask this question, but I know bands and I know how they are. Are you guys already working on new music, or?
Yes.
You said you still have some older songs that you didn't release. Are those gonna be reworked, or you trash them, or what?
I think they're great songs.
Yeah.
They didn't make the cut because they didn't really fit the vibe of the album.
Sure.
If you listen to a track like Your Eyes, that's what you can expect from the B-sides.
Yeah.
It's a different like vibe than the heavier shit. It's not heavy at all, but it's a vibe from the band. It's the same energy from the band. We're hoping to drop that music this year. as well.
Not too soon though, man. Yeah, you gotta give some respect to this record too, because you have a lot of songs on it. So, was the first single Optimo? Like the first official single?
Yes.
Yeah, that was the first single, right? Yeah, and that I saw the video came out like almost a year ago, right? It's been a little while.
About a year, yeah.
Yeah. So the single came out like a long time before you dropped the record.
That whole time we were just working on.
Warmed up. Like,
yeah.
Like,
we were still working on the record. We hadn't finished it. We really didn't even know when we were gonna release it because, man, life just kept fucking kicking our asses.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, we pushed through as hard as we fucking could, kept the band going, and finished it. I mean, we were trying to drop singles or at least a little bit here and there to at least have something out, at least have what we thought were, the singles of the album to at least be out, But I'm happy everything got completed.
Yeah. And then was the second single the NT3000?
Yes.
So what's next? What kind of song? What kind of next single would you like to really be pushing out in the market?
That's been in the talks.
Yeah.
We argue a lot about. Are you referring to singles or a song from the record?
No, the song on the record.
Yeah. So we are making a music video for Burn My Eyes, but I'm not really too sure when that's going to be done.
What's the first song called? Cut, right?
Deep Into the Skin.
Deep Into the Skin. I like that track, dude. That would be my vote. That's just me. I think that's I think that track is like one of my favorite tracks. Yeah, on the record. I really like that one a lot. So, check it out. All right. Any other video work? I know videos can be kind of expensive too, but like you said, I mean, you can.
Well, we cut a lot of costs in a lot of ways. We edit our own shit as well. I mean, we film our own stuff. We do collaborate when we can afford it. Yeah. We love working with Fernando. He's our first man for any video work that we need.
Limas? No.
Fernando, he's done Snake Father, Life Cycles. He's done a lot of work
is he
Fernando Viegas?
Yeah. Okay, no, I don't know.
He goes by Fernie
on
Instagram, yeah.
And so he has his own little video company?
Yeah, I mean, dude's talented as fuck. He's doing a lot of work for a lot of bands, and right now he's really booked, and he's amazing to work with. So cool. We're definitely trying to save up the funds to work with him again.
You think videos are still important for bands?
Yeah. I mean, to me, they're passion projects. I don't view them as content. I don't view them as something we're just kind of like doom scroll for people. They're really just for us, to be honest. I mean, although the simpler shit that we do gets more attention, and when we do more creative stuff, it doesn't really get that same amount of attention, but we still want to do it. It's still important for us to at least create stuff that can expand the world of the band and the world that we're trying to build and the entire aesthetics, and keep making new shit and not just stay with the same old shit, keep creating more stuff. Yeah.
So you said that probably the next kind of product you'll have out in the market is going to be some B-sides, you said?
Yes.
Yeah. And how many will you release?
There's 5.
Oh wow,
5 songs.
That's a lot too, man.
Yeah, but we're still planning on polishing them up. I mean, the way that we've kind of been workflowing stuff is we'll track something and then retrack it, and then retrack it as it gets more polished. Like slowly, it starts kind of like getting more polished. And a lot of the songs are close, but of course, the recording process takes a while because it's hard to get that studio sound DIY. So we really have to make sure the performances are there, like the vocals, inflections, everything has to be perfect to us, or at least to get a professional product in a way.
Sure. All right. Well, damn, guys, you've covered a lot of ground. Is there anything I missed? Anything you want to talk about? While I have you here, anything that I missed?
I would just say, we can always just continue expressing ourselves and keep having music out there. So just keep on the lookout for more content from us, I guess.
All right. Cool.
I feel like our B-sides are really gonna express of what we're trying to do and have a little bit. How do I say it? like uniqueness or more originality.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that, man.
Yeah. Don't forget to send them to me this time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to be in the know. I got to be in the know. That way I can promote and talk about you guys, right? All right. Let's give everyone an opportunity just to say any final words, any thank yous, anything you want to share, any love you want to shout out. So let's start out back there and share about anyone and anything, man.
Well, I'm gonna thank Jaime for allowing me to help him out with like the band, anything that he needs, the equipment. I'll try to make it happen.
Right.
You know, and being a good friend and like being real.
Right.
I think that's probably the most important thing is just being real and honest. And Crossways itself, you know, they are really pushing it. I don't usually, you know, help out bands like that. You know, let me help you out. I gotta see if the work is there.
Right.
Then I'll put in the same amount of energy.
For sure. For sure.
Who's next? Jerry.
Well, just wanted to say, well, these guys are like my brothers. I've known Daniel for probably 10 years, man. Really, I mean, I don't like to jerk these guys off because they're a little cocky, but no. But no, most hardest working people I know definitely deserve, you know, all the attention they get plus more. And I can't wait to see them grow even bigger because it's really what they deserve and what they're working for. Also, I want to give a shout out to Spineless. They're our best friends in Dallas. Heavy metalcore out there. They really need a pop off. They're so good. I mean, that's pretty much it. And rest in peace to my old band Wavering. I just can't thank these guys enough. Jaime is like an older brother to me, and he helps me out with everything, and he's always super honest. He never bullshits me. He'll tell me how it is, and we all learn and grow from each other.
It's good, man.
Can't wait.
I think I'll just say one last thing.
I'll say what. It does feel really good to be reunited with my brothers. You know, because like I said earlier, you know, I was out of it for a while. I had left the band, you know, but then they brought the opportunity back for me to be in the band again, you know. And honestly, I don't regret it one bit. So I had to thank, you know, my brothers for bringing me up again, you know. And also shout out to every single person out there that has listened to the record. You know, it really means the world to us, you know. It really does, you know. I came in during the half part of the work, you know. They started it before me, but, you know, I've just been helping them out, you know.
And you're going to continue to be here from here on out.
Continue. Oh, yeah.
For sure.
To the end of fucking time.
There's two things. My fucking team, my fucking boys right here, everybody. They fucking work their asses off. It's, you know, it's not a one-man show. Yeah. Everyone puts in the fucking work, and it's expected in the fucking band. And I think I appreciate the shit out of them for giving a fuck about what we do and actually caring. You know, this is an obsession to us. It's an addiction to us. Mm-hmm. And making art, making and creating music is what we want to do, regardless of how popular it may be. I also want to thank the fucking cool-ass fucking fans that we have. They're really fucking cool. They, you know, they're passionate, and it really does make us want to keep making more shit because we don't want to let them down. We don't want to let our peers down in the scene. Shout out to the Texas fucking hardcore scene, metalcore scene, everything in fucking between. It's all about unity in this shit.
Yeah, and I also wanted to say shout out to our hometown, San Antonio, just because for them accepting us and you know showing us a lot of love every time we play here, and it's all great. We love to be, you know, considered Texans, you know, San Antonians, and it's, you know, it's all part of the journey, man. Like, I just want to say thank you for everybody that's out there and listening to our track. It means a lot to us, and we wouldn't be anything without you guys. And just keep on the lookout for more stuff, man. We're having a process of having a website out too. So
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay. Yep, website was a complete funk when we did everything.
Yeah.
But website will be up. We'll be selling merch online.
Nice.
CROSSWAYS.3000.store. We'll have our merch.
CROSSWAYS.3000
Yes.
Nice.
We'll be shipping internationally, and we'll get that shit running. There's a couple more things that we kind of have to process, but
yeah,
it's gonna be up. It's gonna be up.
Nice. When is y'all? I was remiss not to ask. When is y'all's next show? Do you have a show booked?
Not till it's April 1st is it's our next show. We have stuff in the process for next month, but nothing official yet.
Where is that show going to be? The April 1st show?
April 1st gonna be in Houston, Texas Mammoth Fest.
Okay.
Shout out to my boy Alex, and we also have a fest, Texas South Fest with BCHC.
Shout out to Zachary from BCHC. That man's been like nothing but like pure like an angel. My guy's been helping us out every time we go out there.
That's cool.
And it's a lot of love from Houston. Yes.
Yeah.
We have a San Antonio show in March, but I don't know if I can announce anything. There's no flyer. We secured all the bands, but we'll make an announcement soon.
Let me know about it, Jaime, because I want to go out there and I want to shoot some footage.
Hell yeah.
So let me know about it, and that way I can put it on my calendar and be out there. I want to thank you guys for everything that you shared. I know you guys are deep, man, and you guys keep it real, and you guys are from the heart. And I think that's one of the things, too, that I love about you guys. I think, you're at a stage now where you're doing the best shit now. Like, you're peaking now, or almost there. I mean, but it's great to see you guys put out a record like You Will Be Received. Great record, man. And again,
thank you.
You're here on the program because I'm a fan, and I love the record, and I jam it a lot. So all you people out there, remember, the brand new record is called You Will Be Received. It's already out on all music outlets, just a little over a month now. Be sure to check it out and jam some of the best Texas metal that there is. You saw the band CROSSWAYS.3000 only right here on Rob's MetalWorks.
Go buy our merch, please.